Hello and welcome to the channel. So it didn't take me very long after purchasing my camper here to discover that it's not always easy to get the camper lined up just perfectly with the truck bed. Sometimes it's a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, or sometimes twisted relative to the sides of the bed. Now, getting everything lined up properly is pretty important for weight distribution and for stability, especially if you're going to be going off-road. Also, if I get my camper shifted too far over to this side, the inside here ends up rubbing against the tailgate strap. So today I'm going to go over some pretty simple and effective ways that I found to make sure that the camper gets centered into the truck bed when you're installing it. And then after that's done, I'm going to show a way that I found to correct for the twisting issue that I mentioned. So that's what's in store for this video, so let's get started. Now here's a pretty low-tech solution for making sure that your camper is roughly in the center of your truck bed while you're loading it. So I've measured the exact center of the camper here, and I marked it with a piece of red tape. Now I've done the same thing to the truck, and I have a piece of red tape attached to the inside of the rear window. That way when I'm backing up the truck, I can line up those two pieces of tape and make sure that the camper is in the center. Now it's a pretty simple solution, but it's not a perfect solution because it's not always easy to get those two pieces of tape to align, and sometimes it takes me multiple attempts. So let's look at another option. Now HappiJac provides what I think might be the best solution for making sure the camper sits in the center of the bed while you're loading the camper. Now back behind me here is a stabilizer bar, and on either side are these centering guides. Now these come with the HappiJac tie-down system, but if you have a different tie-down system, you can actually purchase these centering guides separately. And the way these work is as you're backing up the truck or lowering the camper should make contact to these little guide cones here, and these help to shift the camper left or right in order to keep it nice and centered inside the truck bed. Now besides keeping the truck camper centered, these little centering guides also help to prevent the camper from shifting left or right while you're driving. That actually helps to reduce any stresses on your anchor points, and I think that's a really nice feature, especially if you're going to go off-road. Now I thought these centering guides were going to solve all my camper centering issues, but I ran into a problem. Okay, so let's go to the front of the camper here and I'll show you the problem I'm having. So if you look right down here, this is the left side bumper, which is attached to the camper. And if you'll notice, the thickness of this bumper here is greater than the centering guide is long, which means that the camper, when you're loading it, makes contact up here to the front of the truck bed, and the centering guide doesn't touch the camper, and so it's just not doing its job. Okay, and here's the right side centering guide, and as you can see, there's a big gap between the camper and this guide cone over here. That gap's supposed to be really small, and that's because the left side centering guide is not making contact to the camper and not shifting it over back to the right as it should. Now I guess I could reduce the thickness of those camper bumpers, or maybe replace them with some thinner units, and that would probably correct the problem, but it would also reduce the amount of clearance I have between the truck and the camper from what the manufacturer intended, and that may introduce some unintended consequences, so I don't really want to go that route. Now this is a very common make and model camper, so I assume that other people have run into this problem as well. So let me show you what I'm doing to hopefully solve the problem. Now HappiJac does provide a couple of spacers along with their tie-down system, and they also sell spacer kits separately. Now these little spacers are designed to go back behind the bracket, which would push the bracket out toward the rear of the truck and reduce any gap you have between the centering guide and the camper. There are a couple of problems with this though. First of all, it's only about 1/4 of an inch thick, and my gap is on the order of about 1.5 inches. So I could stack these, but if you stack more than one, this bracket will no longer cup around the stabilizer bar. I just don't think that's a stable solution, so I'm looking at another option. Okay, so I've removed one of the brackets and guide cones off the truck. Now the way this is supposed to work is as you're loading the camper, if the camper shifted too far to the left or right, as it drops down, it's supposed to make contact to this guide cone, and the guide cone actually rotates, and that'll help to shift the camper back toward the center of the truck. Now if you notice, there's actually a recess in this bracket, and that adds some strength to the system and makes sure that the bolt there doesn't bend with any lateral forces from the camper. And then the guide cone here has a washer on the back side and this little metal sleeve, and those things help to make sure that the guide cone rotates freely. And also inside the guide cone, this is just plastic, but it's actually reinforced plastic. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some reinforcement there inside. So this is actually a pretty strong piece of plastic. Now, my idea here is to make sure that the guide cone makes contact to the camper. I need it to stick out farther, so I'm just planning to put a spacer between this bracket here and the guide cone. I need about 2 inches or thereabouts. Now, I want to maintain the design elements from the original guide cone, so I want to make sure that the spacer fits inside of this little recess here, and I also want to make sure that it rotates freely like the guide cone does. And I want it to be at least as strong as this guide cone, so I'm going to add some reinforcement as well. So that's the plan. Let me show you what I have in mind. I really don't have time to go to the hardware store today, so I was looking around the shop to see what I might have around that would work as a spacer. And I have some of this ABS pipe here. Now the outside diameter of this pipe is 1.9 inches, and it matches up pretty closely to this 2-inch guide cone here. And it's even the right color, so I think it'll work. Now, the inside diameter of the pipe is a little too big to fit down into this recess here on the bracket, but I should be able to fix that. Now, to reinforce the pipe, I'm going to be using this Doug fir tree branch. This is some wood left over from a prior project. The diameter is almost correct already. I'll need to shave it down a little bit. Now I actually need 2 different diameters, one to fit inside the pipe and a slightly larger diameter to fit inside the guide cone. So I'll need to sand this down and make it round, but I think this should work. This is a really strong piece of wood, and I think I can build a couple of spacers in less time than it take me to go to the hardware store and come back. Okay, so here's the finished product. I made 2 spacers. Now the wood insert has been epoxied inside of the plastic piece. That's to help add some strength and also help fill in any gaps. And I went ahead and coated the wood inside and out with a coat of polyurethane just to seal it from moisture. Now the spacer will fit inside of the bracket, inside the recess, just like the original guide cone, and it does spin, as you can see here. And the wood insert I made longer than the pipe. That allows a little lip for the guide cone to kind of fit around, and that again adds strength to make sure that this guide cone doesn't bend when you get the camper pushing it from side to side. Now the only thing left to do is I do need a longer screw to go in the middle here to accommodate the additional 2 inches of length, and then I just need to test it out and see if it works. Okay, so I've reinstalled the centering guides with the new spacers in place, so let's test it out and see how it works. Okay, so here's the left side centering guide. Now the camper was shifted a bit too far to the left as I was backing up the truck, and once it hit that centering guide, that cone sort of shifted the camper a little farther to the right. Now as I drop the camper, it should shift a little more to the right. So let's go take a look at the right side centering guide and see what kind of a gap we have over there. Okay, so here's the right side centering guide, and as you can see, there's a bit of a gap between the camper and that little guide cone. So again, as I drop the camper down, it should start to shift over to the right, and that gap should start to close up. So let me put the camera back on the left side, and I should be able to see the camper shifting as I drop the camper down. Okay, so the camper is all the way down on the truck bed now, and it appears to have shifted over a little bit to the right. So let's go take a look at the right side centering guide and see what it looks like. Okay, we're back over here on the right hand side, and you can probably tell that the gap between the camper and that right centering guide has closed a bit. Now there is still a little bit of a gap there, but the placement of these centering guides is such that there's supposed to be a little bit of clearance. So this is basically sitting right where it's supposed to be. The camper is nice and centered, and the centering guides seem to be doing their jobs, so I'm pretty happy with these results. Okay, now that we've resolved the centering issue, let's talk about twisting. So as you're backing up the truck, if it's not perfectly in alignment with the camper will end up being twisted relative to the truck bed. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is the left side bumper on the front of the camper, and as you can see, it's making contact to the front of the truck bed. Okay, so here we are on the right hand side, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of a gap here between the camper bumper and the truck bed. And this is what it looks like when the camper gets twisted relative to the truck. Now this is a problem, especially if you're going off-road or going down a steep hill or in an off-camber situation. The camper is going to want to shift to this side, and that's going to put additional stress on the anchor points. Okay, so I'm definitely not recommending anyone else do this because there are a lot of ways this could go wrong. But this is the solution that I put into place to correct for the camper twisting issue. So I made 4 of these little contraptions here. I guess you might call them camper skates. Basically, it's just 2 2x10 boards stacked up and 4 caster wheels I got off of Amazon. Now, this would go a lot easier if I were on a nice level garage or driveway, but I usually park the camper out here. So I bought these jack pads here, which have a flat surface. Now the jack pads are designed to go flat surface down, but I found if you turn them upside down, you can use the top side here, and the plastic will bend slightly underneath the weight of the caster wheels, so I don't have any issues with the camper rolling away by mistake, as long as I'm on reasonably level ground. And in fact, I think I could probably correct for the centering issue of the camper as well if I were on a garage floor. So basically, the jack pad will go on the ground like this, and then the skate will go on top of it, and I'll go ahead and drop down the jack on all 4 corners, and then I'll correct that twisting issue. So let me show you that. Okay, so I have all 4 skates attached to the camper. I have the camper jacked up about 1 inch, so it can't fall very far if something were to go wrong. And I should mention that these caster wheels have locks on them, so I have them all locked so the camper doesn't move around unintentionally. Now, I should have some sort of attachment point up here, but I don't. And I was also thinking that these would be much better made out of steel. So like a snowmobile dolly might be a better solution than what I have here. But this is what I'm dealing with today anyway. And then up here, I just have the standard turnbuckle. So it's this corner, which is kind of shifted toward the back there. So theoretically, as I rotate this turnbuckle and tighten it, I should be able to pull the camper forward, and I should see the gap between this front bumper here and the truck bed close up as I do that. So let me try that and let's see how it goes. Okay, so I got all the caster wheels unlocked. I'm ready to start moving the camper. Now you have to be really slow and do this really carefully, and I'm going to be watching the skates, make sure they don't come off the jack pads. And I'll just be watching the gap up here so that I'll know when the gap is closed between the front bumper and the truck bed. So just twist this. I can actually do it by hand. I can start to feel the camper moving a bit. And I can feel it's closing up already a little bit. Okay, so it's definitely getting harder to turn this, and I'm feeling back here, and that gap is pretty much closed up now. So let me show you that. Okay, so let's see what we got. So as you remember, there's quite a large gap on this side between the bumper and the truck bed, and that gap is closed up now. So this camper is no longer twisted, it's nice and aligned. That didn't take very long, and it wasn't a lot of effort using just the turnbuckle and the skates, of course. Okay, so the solutions I put into place are actually working out pretty well. I'm using those pieces of tape to get rough alignment between the truck and the camper, and now that the centering guides are long enough, they take over from there and get the camper right in the center of the bed. So that seems to be working out well, and I've also worked out a solution for correcting any twist in the camper. So hopefully this was useful for other folks, and as always, thank you for watching.